Welcome to the show. I'm Braver. This is Brave TRAX. This is a show about new electronic music. Every time I invite a guest to the show, and we take new music with us and play it for each other. We each take turns, and then we explain why we've chosen it, and the other one will react to it. The reason for this show is mainly because of how the changing world is changing how we discover music, and that just really rapidly changes our relationship with music, and we want to dive into that. And my guest today is Dixen or Anders.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for joining us. I have a little rap sheet on you here, so I'm just gonna...
Are you gonna rap it?
I'm not gonna rap it. I'm just gonna quickly mention that you are a part of the trio Ow Ow Ow. You've been going on for about 10 years, and you recently called it quits with like a big show out in Polen.
Yes.
Being a parent, I was on Instagram looking like a kid into a toy store. That's basically my clubbing experience at the moment. It looked like a lot of fun out there.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of love and a lot of emotions and a lot of joy.
How does it feel calling it quits now then?
It feels really good, actually. It's, I mean, yeah, I think projects like that have a time span, and like instead of letting it sort of grow old and us becoming older and older and trying to be young and hip, I think it was a good time to sort of call it quits and sort of pass on the torch to sort of a younger generation of artists.
Just like an old cliche, stopping while the game is good.
Yeah, stopping while you're on top.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. So you then progressed on to the next chapter in your life, which is you started a label called Healing Potions. You recently had your first EP out from yourself called Oceanic Memory. Last time we played Tropic of Cancer from that track.
Yeah.
And discussed it. I like it a lot. I like it really, especially because of that's how it sounds to me, that you work a lot with like physical modeling synths in a way.
Yeah.
And I really like that way that it sounds like real sounds that are then warped in some sort of kind of electronics, and I listen to it at home a lot. It's not something that I imagine in a club a lot, but I find it really to get rid of stress to listen to it.
Yeah. I think it's sort of meant for that in some way. It's like the hypnotic sort of. Yeah. I don't know. There was a lot of thought that went into like the repetitions of things and slow evolving of things in it.
So, and it feels that way where it has some inspirations from club music, and then it deconstructs it in a way so it's all of a sudden for other things than the club.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, my approach towards music is always back and forth. I'm sort of fighting this battle with myself because I want to do music that's for the club, but I always end up doing stuff that's for listening, because like I don't find club music that interesting. Like I love it, and like I really do, but I don't find it that interesting to make.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of sometimes it gets a bit too simple for me.
The range of emotions that you can tap into, or
I think it's definitely about the range of emotions, and also like I just find it rhythmically more interesting as well to do stuff that's more for sort of like what used to be like a bad sort of name for it in the 90s was sort of brain dance music.
Yeah.
But that's sort of what I'm.
That is what is happening.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like if you put on headphones and listen to it, you're still sort of, you're not physically dancing, but you can sort of get that it's coming from club music and from danceable music.
Yeah, and so this is then now, that's the plan for your career at the moment. That's this label, or
so my career at the moment doesn't really have a plan.
Has it ever had a
no,
plan?
It's never really.
Just going where you.
I'm just going where I find like interesting stuff and where like so I'm sort of like withdrawing a bit from DJing and not necessarily from producing, but definitely gonna do something else with my life. I recently became a dad, or not recently. He's 2.5 years now, and kind of wanna just figure out
But that really changes your relationship with club music, being a parent.
Yeah, it does, and also it changes your relationship with your career, because all of a sudden you realize that freelancing might not be the answer to being a great dad.
Okay, so let's get into all of that and more in the next 2 hours. Thank you for coming. I'm gonna start you out and let you play the first track.
All right. Well, yeah, this one is by called Super. It's from his latest album, Blue Sun. Oh, it's called Blue Sun 1. I can't remember the album title, but here we go.
I almost don't want to talk over this clarinet. It's very beautiful.
It is so beautiful. That's the reason I fell for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about the album. So it's a whole album from called Super that this is a part of.
Yeah, it's an album called A Rhythm Protects One,
Yeah.
released in October of this year. And apparently it's just him all the way through, but it's under different aliases. So, like, I think there's like 7, 8 different aliases on it.
So you're trying to inhabit a different kind of artist on each track.
On each
is
track,
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels different, but it still sounds like him in some way all the way through. And this is the first song on the album, and it's just like, I think it's very beautiful intro.
Yeah.
The textures and the clarinet especially.
Yeah. But I feel really bad because actually when that album came out, I put it on and I was like, okay, this doesn't catch me at all.
No.
And then I didn't listen to it again, and then now we're listening to it now, and then I'm like, this is amazing. So that I'm just wondering, so what is happening in between the time I heard it first time?
But it's also, I think, as a lot of times when you listen, you expect a certain thing or certain kind of vibe or certain you expect something from what you're listening to, and if it doesn't live up to that or it's something else, then you like kind of dismiss it and you don't give it your full attention.
I expected club music first time. Yeah.
And there is club music on it.
Yeah.
There is definitely club music, but it's just this intro is just super beautiful.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I think it's an interesting thing the way you listen to artists that you really know.
Yeah.
Or that you know of, and you expect a certain sort of like vibe from it, and then if it's something else, then you're like, you don't really give it your full.
Yeah, and that's really a shame, and I think that's the thing that maybe an artist get locked into all the time, where it's like, I want to do something else, but the audience don't want to let you do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's sort of the trap that a lot of artists faces, is like, not necessarily that the audience doesn't, but they also sort of lock yourself into a world where you're like, but I do this sort of music, so I can't like move out of those boundaries in some way. And I think it's a mix of like the audience expecting something, but also I think a lot of artists are like, but what's expected of me?
Do you think that you would run into a lot of people expecting you as a solo artist to do stuff that sounds like Ow then?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm quite lucky, and I don't know. Like I've never really sounded like Ow in my personal work. I've always had an urge to sort of like seek out new adventures in sound in some way, and always been very. Like I get easily bored with like certain genres or certain like stamps on music, so I tend to like even before I'm like fully done with a project, I tend to always like sort of move on, and that's also why I have a hard time maybe actually getting.
So you have a lot of half-finished things.
Exactly, I have loads of projects.
But that is really one of the challenges when you're doing music, is keeping the interest, because just imagining your favorite track and then listening to it 100 times in a row, and then you know how sick you're gonna be of that.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And like, and the thing is like, you get bored, like you get bored so quickly, and to be able to finish stuff, I found it like I need to be like very specific and very like methodical about how I work on music for finishing it. Like I love creating stuff, but it's the finishing part that I like.
So you actually need to move fast.
Yeah, and I need to move quite fast, or I need to let it sit for like a year, and then find it again, and then be like, okay, I can finish this in like 2 hours.
And that's what you're doing at the moment. You told me earlier before we started the show. You come across some old things that you want to finish.
I came across some old stuff that I played recently in a show on Panini here. That was like a full production set, and finding music for that set, I came across a lot of old demos, and a lot of that was actually like, because I hadn't listened to it in a year or maybe two, I really liked it, and now I kind of like, okay, I need to finish all these tracks, which is like, then it's like sit down with one track, spend maybe 2 hours on it, and then it's done, you know.
Yeah. And so what kind of music is that now?
It's a mix. It's all sorts of like left field leaning,
Yeah.
some techno, some dub techno, some. It's all sorts of
Okay. So leaning on dub, I actually have some dub music to play for you now.
Nice.
Yeah. So the Buck just released a new album together with a guy called Ghost Dubs, who's from Germany.
Yeah.
And this is something like really laid back, interesting bass music where it's like it's very minimalist, and I've been listening to it on my bike all week, and now you get to listen to it.
Nice.
So this album is not the Buck and Ghost Dubs doing things together. They basically take turns. So I think they maybe have like fed off each other's inspiration and then made tracks for each other. So every second track is they just take turns like that. But when listening to the album, it feels like a whole, and the mood is like this all the way through.
Nice. Very interesting, I think. I
What do you
really
think?
love it. I really, really love it. Yeah.
So it's kind of like this. You take inspirations from basic channel and then deconstruct it into something that's almost like old-fashioned dub, but with this dusty electronic space over it.
And it's fun, like it sort of like like the stuff that I've picked out for today is there's a lot of dub influences, and the next track that I have is also very, very aligned with that whole idea of taking like dub techno and then completely deconstructing it and sort of creating this new sort of sound from it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it should just go ahead and play the next one.
I think now we're at it. Then let's just
then
feed
let's go.
into it. Yeah.
So this one is from the new album by Carrier, called Rhythm Eternal. Or Rhythm. I'm not sure if it's Rhythm Eternal or something with rhythm. Anyways, he's really like taken this whole approach to dub techno and just really tweaked it out. So now it's like almost only like percussive. and really moody, and it's in some I just think it's really beautiful. But let's have a listen.
Yeah, put it on. So, Anders, when do you listen to this?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I think it's something that I listen to when I'm like doing other stuff, but it's also like the first time I listened to it, I was like actually really focused on listening to it, and it's a beautiful album. If you sit down and don't do anything else, and then just like sort of absorb what's going on.
You have to like sit and just immerse yourself in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And my wife has to not be home.
Definitely. I think it's like one of these that I put on like in the studio if I need like a break for an hour or something, and then just put on this album, sit on the couch and just sort of absorb what's going on. Because it's like, I think it's so minimalist and like very like there's not a lot going on except for percussion and like dust and.
But it's I don't know, but it invites you in to speculate a lot about the place where these sounds are situated.
Yeah, exactly, and like the whole room around it. The way he uses like reverbs and sort of like very short delays, but with very long feedbacks. Like it just gives this whole vibe of it's dub music, but it's so far removed from dub in the like general sense of the word. But it still feels like dub music in
Also
some way.
because it inhabits the same frequencies, so that's the way that you recognize it.
Exactly, and like I just love the sound of it, like those like really weird, but very loud, sort of percussive hits that come in sometimes, and just sort of like wake you up when you're just like falling asleep.
So yeah, but and it almost feels like a shame to put it on as background music, right?
Yeah, it sort of is. But it, like, I mean, that's the reality of listening to music is like you don't have time every day to sit down and listen to a full album.
That really is a luxury. Right?
It really
All
is a
of sudden.
luxury.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think most people like rarely ever do. And they should actually maybe just spend an hour every couple of days just listening to an album by some artist they like, instead of like always having background music on, because then you might as well. It's just noise in some way, you know.
So do you think the way that music is consumed these days are changing because of the way that music is delivered to us and then the way that we're playing it, or did some people always just only have background music on just from CDs?
I think it's already changed. It has changed. I think the streaming industry and the music industry has changed a lot over the past 20 years, and it already has changed the way the average consumer consumes music. Like they don't even. It's sort of like having a shitty radio station on all day. Like you don't notice it. Like it's just noise. It's just actually noise to drown out the other noise from the city or whatever.
So do you think there's less listeners today for music like this than there were 20 years ago?
No, I don't think necessarily less listeners, because at the same time you have this sort of the fact that it's all like the good old internet has become the main hub for digging, and it's all available to everybody. So whereas when I grew up, when I was a kid in the 90s, you'd have to have a cool CD shop in your town. Like I'm from the countryside. We didn't have very cool CD shops. We had a great music library. That's why I found most of my music back then on CDs.
Same.
And like I think now you have like if you want to seek out interesting stuff, it's available for you. But you just need to take action to find it. The same way you did back then. Like I got turned on to hip hop and like rap music and sort of hardcore metal and stuff like that. And you had to go dig for it. You had to go find it. And I remember like the way you found it was like, luckily we had a really cool music library, as I said, and there was this local rapper whose mom was like sort of in charge of ordering music for the library. So he would always make sure that she ordered all the new hip hop stuff. And I was like, that's how I found the music. Like that's you went to the library and you like lent some CD for a week.
But there was so there was already some curation going on before it got to you.
Definitely.
So the thing that most people nowadays are, that they meet when they go on the internet is just this vast mountain of music, and it's just delivered to you either by algorithm, which is some sort of random curation in some sort, or maybe you just left to dig through the pile at Bandcamp. So what does that do for how people encounter music that we just listen to right now?
Yeah, it's a super interesting question. I know for myself, like I find it really hard to dig for music. There's so much music. There is like, first of all,
more than there ever was, right?
yeah, exactly. There's so much music out there, and like if you go on Bandcamp, for example, there's so much music and there's so much shit.
Yeah.
There's so much shit, and the same on Spotify or YouTube Music or Apple Music or whatever. There's just there's so much.
So when you went to the library, then someone had already sorted away some of the shit.
Some of the shit.
So you wouldn't have to spend time on it. Right?
Yeah, definitely. And also, like, I think a way that we sort of like, I remember like coming up and growing up, like the way that we would dig for music back then. Like, so if you bought a CD, for example, let's say I bought a CD with the Wu-Tang Clan. Then you would read the liner notes.
Yeah.
They would have these thank yous in the liner notes back then. And that was the thing. You would fold out the cover and then you would read the liner notes for like, who's this artist thanking? And it would always be other artists, and you would be like, okay, who's this KRS-One? Who's this Gangstar?
Yeah.
Who is this, like, if you hadn't heard them before, of course, you know, but that's kind of how you dug for music, is like, okay, I need to find out who Gangstar is.
So you need to have some sort of recommendation from somewhere, and that's, I think that's right now we're then getting them from algorithms instead, right?
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes you would just be in a shop and you'd buy stuff based on a cover, or I remember buying Nas's Illmatic on CD.
Yeah.
And I was like, this cover is really ugly, but I'm pretty sure like this might be good. Didn't listen to it. I just bought the CD, and New York State of Mind came on, the first track of that album, and I was like mind blown, completely mind blown over that album. I remember.
So do you get mind blown at that still? Do you think that you can, as you grow older, you can get mind blown by music in the same way?
No, not necessarily in the same way, but I still get mind blown sometimes. Like it happens.
Yeah.
I still actually get mind blown every time I put on Nas's Illmatic. Like I'm still mind blown by that. Like the first track, I believe it's Premier who produced it.
Yeah.
And it's just like the way that Nas just delivers the longest verse ever, and it's still so good. It's like I still get mind blown from that.
So how did you discover this?
This one, yeah. So the thing with finding music now is like it's a different thing. I discovered this because I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of the stuff, like new stuff that I find, it's because I follow the artist already.
So you basically make an effort to follow either on Instagram or Bandcamp or whatever the artist that you want.
Yeah, definitely. I follow a lot of artists and labels on Bandcamp and on Instagram as well, just to sort of get notifications when they release new stuff. And that I think that's for me at least, that's become the way that I sort of dig for new music.
That's also the way that I do it, in order to also not having to listen through a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Because definitely you don't have to listen to through a lot of shit, and and also like it feels like you can sort of curate your own algorithm in some way. Yeah. Let's get on to the next one.
Yeah. I was just putting there's a little bit of intro here, so I'm just gonna put this on. We had a lot of chalk now, so I'm just gonna say this is a compilation that we actually had on last time also, that Simone Smokey played for me from Pressure Dome. The compilation is called 2 is Greater Than 1 Part 2. And I'm just gonna get up here. This is the label owner used together with Roy Mills, and the track is called CCC. So Pressure Dome is this Bristol label by Yush. He's collaborating on almost all tracks on this compilation. There's a few he's not on. Simone played the one with Dub Runner last month. And I chose this track because it's kind of descriptive of how the compilation is. Half of it is like club tracks, and half of it is more downbeat tracks, and this track is both.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice track.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice track. I don't have anything really like.
No, but you're actually, because I had this thing with both Simone and also Any Girl who was on before.
Yeah.
And when I played something that I didn't really like, they had a hard time telling me that they didn't like it.
No, but it's not that I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I hear all the qualities of the track. It's not a track that really speaks to me.
Yeah.
Like it might be. No, I'm not even like I wouldn't even put it in a mix or something.
No. Yeah.
It's just like a track that like it doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
I think I think it's the vocal thing, the sort of choiry thing going on.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
And also like I think the
So what kind of vocal is it? So you have something where vocals would have to be in a certain way, or you
no,
don't
not
like
necessarily.
vocals?
I just like find the melody a bit like boring.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay,
it's just like it just doesn't. That and the bass line is like it's like it's just a bit boring.
Yeah.
Like
No, that's fine.
rhythmically, it doesn't really.
So starting this show, the first few times that I played something that the guest didn't like, I've noticed that I really didn't like. I found it really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to live in that feeling because it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
no one
definitely.
likes the same things, right?
No, exactly.
So the bass line that you say you don't like is one of the things that I really like about
Yeah.
this. and I don't know, it's like that kind of Reese bass that you call that. That's a kind of a cliche and it's overused, but I also really like it, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
you can run from the Reese bass in some way. It's everywhere, and I think it might be that actually. I've just like, I wouldn't say I've outgrown the Reese bass because that sounds a bit too obnoxious, but I've grown a bit tired of the Reese bass at the moment. I might get back to it in a few years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like right at the moment, I'm just like, oh, another fucking Reese bass.
Yeah, and I totally get that. And it's that you split between that feeling of, because the production technique and that way that the bass that has that kind of like, where it's kind of in a way, I don't know the English word for this, but you know what I mean, where it's not sonically in tune.
Yeah.
And that speaks to you in a way. And I remember the first time I heard someone play a track that was the Reese bass, which was in back when Thomas Malvi and other DJs used to do the parties in the Danish radio house.
Oh, yeah.
Called the Store Mix. And then was in there, and then DJ Lab played a track from Abeduk with the Reese bass in, and I was like, okay, I want this, right?
Yeah.
So it's that thing where it is, and when you hear that bass the first time, and you haven't been introduced to it before, that pressure of it is just so convincing, right?
It is an amazing sound,
Yeah.
and I like. There's no getting around it. Like the respace is, like it's a whole. Like I think you could do a 15-hour show just talking about the respace and playing examples of it. And there's so many like great examples of it, and like and I just gotta say that this wasn't a very convincing example to me. I think it's more than the respace. It's also how you use the respace, and it's like I think the melody in that track just wasn't really like catching me. But at the same time, I really love the respace. I'm just a bit tired of it at the moment.
But I get it also because right now you're in a moment where it is that there is one cookie cutter baseline track coming out after the other that all uses it, right?
There's so much stuff that uses that exact sound, and like, and it's everything being overused again and again. And I feel kind of the same way about the breaks on this one as well. It's like you've just heard it so many times before, and I don't find it like. It's fine if you're gonna use it, but then at least do something interesting with it. Like fuck it up. Like
Definitely.
I like, so this track wasn't really like. I can totally hear the qualities of it, but I'm like, it's just not really my.
Do you know the label at all or anything about it?
Yeah, I know the label, but I don't really like. It's one of the ones that I don't follow that. I don't follow it that much.
So that's where we differ probably. Because I mostly love most what comes out of there, right?
Yeah. But I think I love a lot of it, but like it's just one of those where I'm like, it's not like it's not on my top.
So let's move on.
Yeah. All right. So this one is something completely different. I actually I don't know too much about it.
So tell me why you chose it then.
Well, I just remember finding this album on, I think it was on Bandcamp. And I just remember being like, this is so weird and so minimal. The album is by Johnny Hunter, and it's called Dub is King. And I was like, because I like the title was like, oh, this has to be great dub music then. And it's not. It's it is dubby, but it's like, but it's very minimal. It's mostly just drums.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I fell in love with about it. Is like it's very just like, it's just drums and with some like dub effects on some of them. But not that much, even. So yeah, this is Dub is King by Johnny Hunter.
Okay, so the previous track you played, you also said this is mostly drums. So
Yeah, yeah. I like drums. I like drums and delay machines.
yeah. Can you remind the listeners or watchers or what we're listening to?
We're listening to Dub is King by was it Johnny Hunter? I think his
Yeah.
name was. Yeah, and it's just a random find on Bandcamp. I think I'm not even sure how I found it, but I just remember being like, "This is weird.
Yeah.
I like this."
And it almost sounds like it's just live. It's just a live recording.
Yeah, it
That
might be. I'm not.
With some treatment afterwards.
Yeah. But it's just these basic drums and like this like a few vocal samples, a basic bass, and
Yeah.
move.
And it reminds you, it doesn't really take a lot, right?
No, exactly.
And I don't know, especially when I started doing music, I was like, okay, have I got enough ideas here? And you would put too many ideas into
But
it.
I
right?
think that's still like the struggle a lot of
Yeah.
producers are facing is like overcrowding the tracks.
Yeah,
And I think if we can just nerd out on production a little bit,
definitely.
I think there's a lot to like if you can. It's the hardest part for me at least about making electronic music is can you make a track that grooves in 4 tracks? Like can you have a kick, a snare, and a hi-hat and another element and make that maybe a bass line? And is that enough to keep the
Yeah.
track going and keep it interesting? And if that grooves, like if you can get those 4 elements to groove really tightly and really, then you've got a track. Like,
Yeah.
but like,
So is that an exercise that you actually?
it's an exercise that I do a lot, and
Yeah.
I fuck up most of the time.
Yeah.
I think it's like minimalism is so difficult.
Yeah.
Because you have, especially nowadays, with computers being powerful and like the software being great sounding, like you can keep on tweaking and adding and like forever. And I think the big challenge now is actually holding back. And like I think creatively it's what the way I usually work around it is like I add on as long as I have that creative flow. I just keep adding on, and then I sort of deduct afterwards. Like I remove stuff, and I find it very satisfying to like.
Some people can't figure out to remove stuff, right?
No,
because
exactly.
It can be really disheartening because you got to remove something you like, right?
Yeah, kill your darlings, baby.
It's a cliche for a reason.
It is a
Yeah,
cliche for a
yeah,
reason, and it
yeah.
is really is like, yeah, but you love that sound, yeah, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Like try and remove it, and like try and just bring it down to the bass and the drums only, and then you'll like, if it's pumping there, then it's working, you know. Yeah. It's a whole. That's a different show.
Yeah. But I think this show. I think it's interesting to
Yeah.
talk about because it's both that you're trying to find music, but it's also what you do when you create the music, you're almost thinking about, well, I want to be in this space where I create it, but sometimes you can't help think about people needing to find the music and like the music as well.
I think that's the trap about like the like, are you an artist for your own sake, or are you an artist for?
And that's an internal discussion.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is that it can never be so strict, just one or the other, can it?
No, it's always like it's always a dialogue within yourself, I think, and I mean you have to sort of at the fundamental level you have to create art for your own sake, but at a certain time you also create art for recognition in some way. But I think it's really important to try and stay in tune with like what you want to do and keep searching. Like I think for me at least, the curiosity about sound and music is like what keeps me going, and that's what we like we talked about earlier. That's also the reason why I can't seem to finish a lot of stuff. Is because I'm like, there's always, if I like every time I arrive at a peak where like, okay, this is almost done, and I'm like, oh, but that it looks really interesting down in that valley, you know.
So it's almost like the dogs seeing a squirrel somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
But I had some more to ask there, but I lost the thread, so I'm just gonna move on to some music.
All right.
And I'm gonna move on to music from people that make music out in the studio complex where you said.
Yeah.
So this is from Adam and Bjarke on Mainface and Talons.
Mainface and Talons, yeah.
Yeah, and Mainface just put out a new EP, and then he has Talons on one of the tracks. And this is called Amphibian, and this is basically the two of them just moving into like original dubstep like it used to be.
Yes.
So I always make a point of playing local music in the show, and this is the one this time, and so this is just an exercise in what made me love dubstep, and it's so nice to hear main phase and tell us do this way. And I think what they bring to it is to bring a more organic feel that dubstep used to be, where the drums feel more real than electronic, but basically
more like sample based and swung in that like really nice way. And they're just really good at it. I mean, I love all the stuff they did as First Touch.
Yeah.
Also the jungle stuff. And yeah, they're just so good at it. It sounds like everything you remember it being, but then it also sounds new and fresh.
Yeah.
They're just really good at it. Yeah. Big up the main phase.
I hope they do many more tracks like this.
Yes, I think they will. I think I've heard it. I've heard somebody speak about them coming out on with something legendary pretty soon.
Let's wait for that. I don't have much more to say. We both really agree about this. So just
we totally agree on that one.
Let's move on.
All right, should I play the next one?
Yes, please.
So this one I find really interesting. Again, I'm just gonna say that it's mostly drums.
That's gonna be the theme. I'm gonna put it on the YouTube.
yeah, it's mostly drums. Again, this is Al Wooten.
And he is amazing.
He is amazing. Yeah. I find what he's doing so interesting. And he just released this album recently, and he had like I think the story behind it is he had access to these this museum sort of ish of like with like loads of old drum machines, and he recorded a bunch of them in Melbourne in Australia, and then he went back to the UK and sort of processed all the recordings he had done, and this is the album. It's called what's it called? Rhythm Archives. Yes, that's what it's called. And this, it's just interesting. It's just again mostly drums. There's a bit of like the odd.
So let's dig into that before you start, because this is now the third one. So what is it that intrigues you about having a track where it's mostly drums? What is it that the artist needs to do when they have only drums to work with?
I think for these tracks, like the common sort of denominator in them is like drums with really it's not minimal, and when you look at the effects chains, like it's like very processed drums, but just very minimal in the sound, in the overall sound of the track. And I just like at the moment, and it might change again in a few weeks, and like this is just because I'm sort of sticking to sort of the tracks that are drums for the moment.
Yeah.
But it's like at the moment I'm really just tripping out about like doing dub drums.
Yeah.
Doing percussive and dubby, like sort of dub music. Doing it as well on my own, like playing around with a lot of different pedals and how to like sort of produce like the dubby sounds in sort of a live context.
So is that something that we can expect to see on Healing Potions, your label, in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Yeah. I think I have a great desire to explore dub more, and even more than the necessarily the genre of dub, the more the textures of dub.
Like the concept of it.
Yeah, the concept of it and the textures that it creates, used in different ways.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really interesting, and also what was really interesting about the Carrier track that I played earlier.
Exactly.
Is like the sort of crunchy feeling you get from having like dub delays being in the background and being sort of sidechained with the rest of your signals. Yeah. So anyways, here's a note selected by Al Wooten from his latest adventure called Rhythm Archives.
Okay, so I I used to be a really big fan of the CR78 drum machine, and I hear it here a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
I did a lot of tracks where I just used sampled from this. This I just wanted to put it in anything I did for a long time.
It's also an amazing an amazing drum machine. But yeah, I find like that's what is so interesting with this album. I think is like it's mostly just these drum machines.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it is like the original rhythms from the drum machines.
But he had to go all the way to Australia to get a drum machine like this?
No, I think there's plenty of them. I think is he just sort of stumbled across this when he was touring probably and didn't just went and recorded a bunch and then sort of processed it when he got home. I think there's plenty of like there's these sort of like museums all over that has plenty of them. But it's just I think it's a great album to just listen to drum machines and like weird bucket brigade and spring reverbs and stuff like that.
And again, talking about how to experience this music is that we were just talking. I just want like the big sound system from Strøm in a big smoky room.
Yeah. Actually, a small
everybody
smoky,
leave me alone. I'm listening.
A small smoky room and then just me alone and a big sound system and this music would be perfect. I think. Yeah. I mean, it's to me, it's just really interesting, and I guess as the listener would maybe notice if they've heard all the way through the show is that my taste at the moment is very focused on these like drummy, dubby kind of things.
So he used to be called Dead Boy,
and
then he made completely different music. It was like kind of like the bootlegs and garagey things, and then he changed his name. So that's really interesting to see that he's now progressed onto a place where there's really no one that sounds like him.
He really has, and he's doing like interesting projects all over. He's playing in different bands and doing his Wootton stuff and running the label True, which is mostly his own music. But I have another track that I'm gonna play later. That's by Jay Duncan, who's that's also on True. And I just find what he's doing really interesting. I love his sound. It's it has this like sort of like psychedelic feel to it, even though it's like very dubby. It's like it's a good mix of everything. And he has the band, what's it called? Holy Tongue. Which is doing really interesting stuff as well. I just find him one of the most like
interesting
and like fun artists to sort of follow musically, because you always get sort of surprised, and at the same time it always sounds like him. He's just like it's really nice.
And he actually we're sitting in the club Jolene Broadcasting right now. He played here recently.
He played here recently with Shackleton, who is like the godfather of like psychedelic dub music ish. Psychedelic dubstep.
Another one of those things where I was sitting at home and regretting that I couldn't go anywhere.
I had to be at a bachelor party.
So let's move on. Leon Weinhall just released a new album called In Daytona Yellow, and I've selected a track that's not on that album. He just
nice. So thanks for mentioning the album.
But the thing is, it sounds like this is an outtake from that album that didn't make the cut for some reason, because the album seems like it's like a whole where everything comes in a spot. But it ended up being the track that I liked the most. Listening to the album and then listening to this single that came after, so I'm just gonna put that on.
I haven't actually heard the album yet, and I love Leon Weinhall, but I'm really looking forward to actually hearing something that didn't make the album.
Let's listen to it. Hands on my body.
Hands on my body, she be running circles on my walls. Sitting on the wings of a lobby, tryna lay low, tryna lay low. Hands on my body, she be running circles on my walls. Foolish as I am, I'm a mess if your eyes ain't watching. Hands on my body, she be running circles on my walls. Sitting on the winds of a lobby, tryna lay low, tryna lay low. Hands on my body, she be running circles on my walls. Swear that you laid on me. Hands on my body, she be running circles on my walls. Sitting on the winds of a lobby, tryna lay low, tryna lay low. Hands on my body, she be running circles on my walls. Foolish as I am, I'm a mess. Your eyes ain't watching. Hands on my body, 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 hands on my body. Too easy to breathe in, too easy to fall. Hands on my body. 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 Tryna lay low, tryna lay low. Hands on my body. She be running circles on my walls.
So I need to find the right button here. Just did this choice. Leon Weinhold, Undo Your Body. So I just realized there's a respace on this, but it's probably why I chose it.
That's your theme for the day. It's like you play
Your
the respace.
drums
We
and
should
I'm the
try and mix it.
respace. Which would be perfectly fine for a party.
No, yeah, but this one I liked a lot more than the
Yeah.
last one with the respace in it. Also, I think this respace sounds a bit better.
Yeah,
in my ears, but
it's a little bit more, you know, submissive.
yes, submissive. We can call it submissive.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I really enjoy Leon Weinhold, and I think this reminds me a lot of like what we would play with our for
Yeah,
example.
and I actually chose this as well because it feels like this feels like something that I'm not saying in the vein of the things that you used to make there.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot more in that direction. That whole our project was about the last few years of it, and this is a great track. I mean, there's nothing really to put on it.
No.
It just works well, and it's well produced and great sounding. I find it a bit, to be honest, a little bit boring.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time it kind of snuggles you in.
Yeah. So the thing that I have with it, and the thing that I have with why this speaks to me all the time is the way that Leon Weinhold, he does his drums.
Yeah.
So he has this really interesting sound on his drums. I feel like he's nerded every drum sound really a lot, so it feels very organic and out of somewhere I haven't heard before. And then when that's there, and probably the respace, then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna accept the rest of it. But I do see that it's kind of a simple track in a way.
It is a super simple track, but that's the thing with the Leon Weinhall is, especially like I fell for, like, I wasn't a huge fan of his until I heard Rare Forever, the album.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 albums ago. I'm not really sure actually, but anyways, and I've really enjoyed the way he would use both drums, but also like it was super weird. He would do like tracks that felt like a banger, that felt like an absolute like euphoric house banger, but there was no drums on it. And he would do like low key, sort of moody, manny, weird housey beats, but it like felt like very.
But it sounds like it came out pretty much during the pandemic, right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's what happened to everyone. Okay, what is gonna do all of these ideas? No one is dancing. Then we're gonna do something else, right?
Like, do something weird, and that's what I love. Like that's also like, I think. To me now, like what I listen most to is like, is it weird enough? Like, is it? Like, is there anything weird about it? That's what makes it interesting to me. Is like, are people weirding out? Like, I'm really drawn to this like sort of weird, like sort of psychedelic, sort of like. I just love when people like make it a bit more weird.
So let me put you a little bit on the spot, because this has some sort of pop sensibilities.
Yeah.
Our Owl had some kind of pop sensibilities in the tracks that you made there, and the tracks you're selecting today. And I know that the tracks which I love on Healing Potions, your EP, has none of that. Is that something that you left behind now?
I think I've sort of. Personally, I left it behind a long time ago. Like that's not where I want to go, and like as a solo artist. I think with our owl, it's really fun to make. Like it's not that I hate making a catchy melody and like doing drums that are simple but effective, and like doing bass lines that just hit right where they should, and like. I really still enjoy that part of making music, but for me as an artist, I find it way more interesting to sort of dive into textures and layers and like and weirder aspects of music. And I think for a long time when I've listened to music, it's always been the weirder stuff that sort of stuck with me. And
so would you say that you like to do all that music with like, I'm gonna say the pop sensibilities again, but you don't really listen to it that much?
I don't listen to it at all.
Yeah.
Like I rarely I listen to it, but it's mostly if I have to sort of DJ in that context or find music for that context that I actually ever listen to it. Most of the time I listen to weird stuff.
But do you often find yourself in a situation where you have to DJ things you don't really find interesting?
Not anymore.
No.
I did when our was still going, and like we had to do DJ gigs once in a while, and so you would have to dig into that whole space of like new UK garage, sort of like poppy UK, whatever sort of vibes.
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of lot of it that I love. Like honorable mentions like Overmono and Vinyl, and like. There's loads of it that I really love. Floating Points, I love it, and I just find that the sort of like over use of the whole UK garage sort of bassliney, drummy, respacey sort of thing is a bit boring by now.
Yeah. But I totally get that.
And to me, like there's so much more interesting stuff going on around, and like diving into like new music or older music. There's just a lot of interesting stuff, and like as I was talking about earlier as well, the curiosity just never ends.
So let's dive into the next stuff.
Okay, so the next stuff is actually a bit in the poppier side of things, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's still not poppy. It's like I could play this in a set, like in a warm-up set. It's Cousin from Australia and Priori from Canada.
And I love Priori.
Yeah, and I love Cousin as well. And they did an EP together, and this track is called Softening, and it's like sort of a tech housey, vibey kind of thing. I fell for it recently and just really like it, like the vibes of it.
So if I have to say what I like about this and something that I would like about this, and it's actually a recurring thing in the next one we're going to talk about as well.
Was it? There was no respace though.
No, that
do
is
you
true.
even like tracks without a respace?
I do, but it can con me often once in a while. But the thing here is that thing where you do a track where you basically have a chord on a pad all the way through,
Yeah.
and it never changes. And then what you do to keep the interest is that you do some sort of change to the pad. You know, when you produce music, you call it modulation.
Yeah.
Where you, and then that's what keeps it interesting
Yeah.
all the way through.
I love this. Like I love doing tracks like that. It's like one of the difficult things about when you're producing it. You're like, it's too simple.
Yeah.
I can't just keep this chord going for 6 or 7 minutes.
But you can.
But you
right?
can.
Yeah.
It's all about the modulation.
Yeah, but and it teaches you, because when you're producing, you have the screen and you can see the time from above, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can see the start and the end at the same time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the simplicity of it just shouts at you
Yeah,
in
exactly.
a way that it just can't be true, right?
It's a fun way to, like, I have never actually thought about that, but it's true. Seeing that you have one chord in like over a 7-minute track and it's never disappearing, it's never like it's just the way, like it's there all the time. You're like, no.
I need to change
yeah,
this, right? And then
this is wrong. This must be wrong.
You have to fight the urge not to change
Yeah,
it,
exactly,
right? And
exactly.
you're like, if someone sees this project, they're not going to want to listen to this, right?
No, exactly. And you're like, this, like, there must be that. It's too simple. I can't. Yeah.
Okay, so in the beginning we heard the theme, and last time
The jingle.
Yeah, the jingle. And Simone, she put on, she took a lighter and did some, so that changed it then, and now you're gonna change it.
I'm gonna change it.
Yeah, with the sound. So I brought the sampler again.
Yeah. And where's the microphone input?
So I'm just gonna bring my microphone input is here.
Yeah.
And you press a pad, and I can press the pad, and you can do
You
the
press
sound.
the pad, because then I can open the.
Okay, go. So 3, 2, 1. Great.
Yeah, I hope so.
It is there. See.
Oh yes. That's a nice percussive sound.
Yeah. That can be used for all kinds of things.
Yes, exactly.
And the next show is going to be in only 2 weeks, where we're going to do like a Christmas end. We're gonna evaluate what's been going on Radio Panini during the year, and we're gonna have a lot of opinions on the best shows and the best tunes. And then I'm gonna do a DJ set in the end with the best tunes from the Brave TRAX shows, what I felt was the best that the guests played and what I played.
If you're definitely just gonna play. You're gonna have this USB I brought.
I'm just gonna play just drums and Reese. So. I told you I'm gonna put on another track with just, it's basically also just a pad going through the track.
Nice.
This is Vata Ignarashi, and he has a new album out on Digmantle called My Supernova. This is the track that ends the album. The album is quite an impressive techno album with a lot of like upbeat things. This is also upbeat, but it has more like an emotional sensibility to it. And it has this pad that goes through the track, where he basically evolves it with how he filters the
I
pad.
already love it. So like you can sort of.
That's
maybe
new for me. You loving my tracks.
But there's no respace.
So Wata Igarashi is from Tokyo, but he lives in Amsterdam. He actually used to play guitar in punk and jazz groups before he went to techno. And then it's really rare that I find that the album format fits with techno. And I listened to this album, My Supernova, and it's really interesting in a way that I find all the tracks really original in a way that it's techno that you can listen to. It's kind of stressful to listen to at home, but I can do it. But so I find it really is hypnotic and really meticulously sculpted. The whole way that it's made, and then it ends in this track.
It is a beautiful track. It's a very beautiful track. Yeah. Again, the pad all the way through.
Yeah. And I was, after I put it on, then I the way that you can just in record box you go all the way through. Is it really that? And then I see that he basically has like the filter all the way up in the middle of the track, and then it just goes way down. So it's just like this pyramid.
I really respect that in some way. It's like, okay, yeah, everybody's talking about automation. I'm just gonna do like this and like this.
Yeah.
There you go,
works, right?
automation.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So big recommendation from here. It's on Dick Mantle Records. Your turn.
Okay, so so my next track is Masking by Forest Drive West. Recently released on Alien Tape, which is one of my absolute favorite labels for interesting sort of hybrid left field techno bass music sort of stuff. And I found this track the other day while I was in the studio, and I was looking for new stuff to listen to and to get inspired by, and I hadn't listened to this EP by Forest Drive West yet, and I absolutely love his stuff. And then this first track comes on, which is this one, Masking, and I'm just like, wow, what the hell is this? Like, where's this going? Like, and I'm still not sure actually where it's going.
What made you feel like that?
Because like it feels like this very energetic sort of techno-y track, but it's not. It's like very chilled, but it's like very insisting at the same time. I'm not sure how to describe it. Let's have a listen.
Put it on. So there's somewhat of a theme in all of what you play today, and I find it great. It's this kind of introvert music where it's I'm just diving into myself and my own feelings and what I feel about what I'm listening to.
Yeah. I think coming back to the word I uttered earlier, like the '90s, the thing called like sort of brain dance.
Yeah.
It's like I listen to a lot of stuff that's like, or that's like that's what I musically find interesting is stuff that's not necessarily like hardcore pumping club music, but it has this sort of moody vibe, but it's still with a theme that's like, or an underlying like sort of theme of dance music in some way.
Can you all listen to hardcore pumping dance music at home, or is it that something that you only listen to when you have to find for a DJ gig or playing?
I rarely listen to like hardcore dance music at home. I sometimes put on like tech house mixes and stuff like that. But I also think that like the minimalism of tech house is more suitable for home listening than like sort of like a hardcore techno set or whatever. And like I rarely listen to hardcore techno.
I think I'm an outlier at that point. Sometimes when I cook at home, then I just put on some hardcore techno, and then I'm like,
yeah, definitely,
right. And then sometimes you can get really. Then I just hit a point where okay, now I had enough, and then I put stuff like this on.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, I mean, I'm like really into the whole, like this whole sort of brain dancey kind of vibe. The whole like, this feels like you can sort of hear this sequence going. And it feels like a techno track, but it isn't. Like it has this pumping sort of.
So you were talking about how you found this track, and now you're putting on our music on your own label, on the label that you run, co-run.
Yeah.
What did you run into it with?
Vika.
Yeah, Vika, exactly. And now are you thinking about how people are gonna discover your music then?
Actually, I think it's very important to be to try at least and be to not care too much about it and do it sort of for your own sake.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're gonna run your head against the wall and like be very disappointed if you rely on too much, at least on reactions from the outside, then you're definitely you're bound to be disappointed. I think what's very important is to be very sort of self-sufficient and believe in yourself enough that like as long as the product, as you believe your product to be good, then it deserves to have that life to come out.
So you think that quality is enough for you to not be a drop in the ocean?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
What else does it take?
But I think all music is a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
There is like literally 10,000 oceans of music already, which is a saddening and disheartening kind of thought as an artist. But also at the same time, you're contributing to a history. And there's this clip of DJ Shadow in this old movie documentary about like vinyl digging and scratch culture and that whole thing. I believe the documentary is called Scratch.
Yeah.
And there's this like they lead up to like DJ Shadow by like, oh yeah, he's the king of digging. And then it cuts over to DJ Shadow being in this basement that's just floor to ceiling records like stacked on top of each other, not like as they shouldn't be ever, but like stacked on each other, and he's just down there like going through records and finding stuff, and he says something very like beautiful about like we're all gonna be in this pile at some point. Like this, every one of these records was somebody's dream.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna be in that pile at some point if we release music. So we're already in that pile. Like, I mean, releasing music is just adding to the pile.
But that sounds disheartening. Like all the time that you spend in the studio.
But then again, like I would argue that if the DJ Shadow of tomorrow finds my record in some pile in 30 years and does something creatively with it, then it's all worth it.
That's enough.
That's enough. Like that has to be enough.
Yeah.
And also I find that you have to do the art for the art's sake, not for anybody else's sake, and you have to do it for your own sake, but you can't be doing it for a career or for the listener, and not if you want to do like original.
But you do want a reaction, right?
You might want a small clap.
Well, or at least someone just, you know.
But I think you already have it.
Yeah.
Like you already have it. Like it's so easy nowadays. Like nowadays, a small clap is like that's a like on Instagram. You know, whatever. You know, it's like you just have to do it because you can't. Like you like I would be doing it no matter what. Like I would be if I didn't have any release. If the internet wasn't invented. I would still be doing it in some way.
Maybe doing like me. I just save it on the hard drive. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Then you're just like, but you would be doing it for yourself, no matter what, you know. So like I would like, and it's just nice. Like it's the only way to actually finish a track is by releasing it. I feel.
But and that's heartening because you look actually really happy swimming in this ocean right now, the way that it is right now with music that can be, you know, frustrating for a lot of artists.
It's because you have to sort of like, so I've been doing music for 20 plus years ish, and it's been hard at points, and especially with our Out project, it's been really tough running into these walls, and we've been signed to major labels, and we've been like we've done all the stuff, and like, but like I don't like the music industry. I don't like most of the people in it. And
most musicians probably don't like the music industry.
No, exactly. Right? And but you're doing music no matter what. Like you're still doing the music. So it's just about finding a balance where you can release music on your own terms, or finding the career path that fits you. Like there's no like right or wrong way to do it. It's like what fits you, and that can be really tough to figure out. And I think for me personally is like I've just come to realize that like I'm doing this for me. Like I'm not doing this for the club, I'm not doing this for the girls, I'm not doing this for anybody else but me. Like I'm doing it because I want to put out stuff that I find interesting, that I can get into listening. Like I might be tired of it like my last EP I might be tired of right now because I like spent a little time working on it. But I know that when I start listening to it again in like 6 months or whatever, I'm gonna be like, I actually enjoy this. Like I find this really, really nice.
So the next EP you put out on Helium Potions, you're not gonna, if that came out and you got no response at all, no positive, no negative at all, it was just, you know, it just passed without anyone noticing. How would you feel?
The thing is that once it released, I'm already working on the next one.
But that's very impressive to be able to.
I mean, it always hurts a little bit. You can't lie. It always like you want somebody to respond to it. But the thing is that I found is like with that sort of music that especially that I'm doing is like it's very introverted, and the responses are gonna come. The same with like I released 3 albums as a Dixen on Øen Records, rest in peace, and they're still growing, and they're being found now and being found even more now, and that's just very reassuring in some way.
So kind of when you do the music you don't actually release it for the sugar rush of the release date. You're doing it for the long run.
For the long run, definitely. I would say because there's no the music that I do. There's no banger.
No.
I don't do bangers. Like I don't have like so what's the single? I'm like.
Maybe you should come up with like an alias for the bangers then.
Oh yeah. I don't really do bangers anymore.
So I'm just gonna play some more from Alien Tape.
Oh yeah, nice.
Now that you did it, and this is Stenny, who's put out a new album called Sharp Fragments.
Another one that I haven't gotten to listen to it yet. I love Stenny.
It's the second album on Alien Tape, and this track is called In Jericho.
The first album was amazing.
So it's really hard to select a track from this album. Everything is just great on it. It's really just a headphone album. You started from end to finish, and
From end to finish.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. From start to finish.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's just really a big recommendation from here, and I really love this. We're reaching the end of the show. I'm just gonna finish you. I'm just gonna thank you, Anders, for showing up here.
Thank you for having me.
And it was really a pleasure talking about drums
Drums
and the respace.
and the respace also.
There's gonna be a track list on the show page after here. Anders is gonna send me his tracks. I hope.
Maybe.
At least a list of it, and then you can see it there. And then you're gonna sign off with the last one.
Yeah. So I'm actually in a bit of maybe it should be this, but maybe it should be this.
Should I keep it going here while you select? Are you in a pickle there?
No, I'm just like, because there's a few different options, because we were talking too much, so I have tracks left, and I kind of want to play all of them, but, so I'm actually gonna, instead of playing something new, I think I'm gonna play something old.
Yeah.
Because we never really got into that whole thing about the digging.
No.
Because like I mostly dig for older music.
Yeah, and how do you do that?
Usually on Discogs.
Yeah.
And like by going into like find a label that I find interesting, and then like sort of going through discographies basically, and finding labels and finding artists, and then going into their like discography. And
So you still buy vinyl?
I still buy vinyl sometimes, but also I gotta admit that sometimes you just gotta download it on SoulSeek or whatever.
So you use Discogs to kind of figure out what you want, and then you find it elsewhere?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I buy it. If I can't find it, I buy it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I end up having vinyls that I don't really, that I just, I sometimes play them actually.
To me, every time I buy a vinyl, it just represents some weight that I have to carry around. I'm finding it really hard to buy vinyl these days.
I'm actually getting back into it more and more. I find it really nice to just, also because it's actually getting so cheap to buy, especially because I'm really into DJing like old school tech house and stuff at the moment. And it's sometimes it's cheaper for me to buy like 10 vinyls than it is to actually buy like 10 tracks on Bandcamp, because the vinyls are so cheap. Like the secondhand
vinyls are cheap. Yeah, because new vinyls aren't cheap.
No, new vinyls aren't cheap. But I shout out Proton, because they have like the 25% off on the secondhand stuff. But anyway, so here's Stefan Goldman. I think the record is from around 2005, released on Perlon, which is a great, like, weird tech housey sort of label that I really love, and then, like, I've been really enjoying going through their whole discography, because it's super weird.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so interesting. And this is one of the like more like, I find that this track is a bit more like straightforward, but it's still super weird. Like it has this weird sort of dubby thing to it. But anyways, Stefan Goldman, Phrase Lab. Thank you for joining me today.